Look around the country, and it seems like regularly we're seeing incidences of violence happening in our schools. Just this past week, or just this week, a tragic event in Nashville at a high school there. So, not high school, but elementary school. And so I think we're all at a real heightened state of concern.
I can see why some would be nervous. However, one of the things we have to take into consideration is the police department, along with the sheriff's department, our community partners are just prioritizing the safety of our community. So again, if we work together, if we report when we see things, I think we'll be okay. But I can understand the nervousness, but together we'll be okay.
There has definitely been an uptick nationwide, and we are also part of that. When it comes to violence or a heightened awareness around violence, which means fighting or bringing weapons or the use of weapons in our community.
I think that we're experiencing the same thing with most cities across the country outside in terms of violence and uptick in violence, youth violence. My thoughts are that we've got to get in front of it. My thoughts are we've got to do some things to empower our kids.
We're bombarded every day by bad news on TV, social media, and we don't hear good news, and so it's just it feels different. Used to we have fights in schools and things like that. We didn't know about it. We didn't see it. We see everything now because of social media. Anytime there's a fight in school, you look around and you see everybody's got their phone up, taking pictures of it, and it's immediately posted, it's immediately put out there. And so it drives the culture and the feel up, so it feels like things are different than they were, even though they may be the same.
In this community, like at schools, I feel unsafe.
And why is that?
Because of the regulations on gun violence, there really isn't any, and it shouldn't be as acceptable as it is for students to have access to guns.
Well, I feel quite safe. Where I live at is not really too much going on around here.
Honestly, it depends. Like, if something recent were to happen, something like grave, then,
I do feel safe in my school. My teachers make me feel welcome and wanted in my classrooms, which is incredibly comforting. My peers make me realize that I am safe around them and that they do want to hear what's going on. So the community support, the school support, everyone has always been there and they want to be there, which is incredible.
I don't spend much time in the community because it's kind of lame, but school is, I feel pretty safe here at school, to be honest.
Here, I feel pretty safe. It's not really too much to worry about.
I haven't felt safe at school since in 5th grade, and I doubt anything that anyone does will ever change that.
Pretty safe, I guess. Most of the time I feel safe, but sometimes not really, because you never know what's gonna happen.
Overall, I feel pretty safe, but there can definitely be some better safety precautions in terms of people bringing guns and stuff to school. Like the incident at Forsyth Tech, when he shot his hand very idiotically. That was just that whole situation was just really bad. People were crying and stuff, and it was just it was really bad. So
I feel mostly safe. I feel like I could feel more safe, but I feel pretty safe right now.
I feel safe. I feel pretty safe.
Why do you feel safe?
Because I know that I know that there's a sheriff here that kind of patrols the area, so that helps.
And what about the metal detectors? Did that make you feel more safe?
Yeah, it does.
Honestly, I try to not let it affect me that much, because then that would affect school and at home. So I try not to pay attention to that.
I think that it's kind of made me reflect on where I am, and it makes me appreciate the school system that I do have. But it also makes me think of the future and like what will my younger brother go through. I see more implementation of metal detectors and of school doorbells and things, and I think that while they're necessary in today's society and while they are good systems, I do wish that it was different, and I wish that we were going to the source of the problem and not just trying to take these precautionary measures to what will inevitably happen in those younger kids' lives and in their education.
And after the recent gun violence events that have happened, how safe do you feel like about going to school, and what do you think we could change to make it better?
I mean, it's definitely a problem. I think that maybe programs for like young kids to like, you know, inspire them to get out their negative emotions in like healthier ways could help with all the gun violence and stuff.
It'll get worse. It'll get worse, and then it'll infiltrate into different places. So we won't feel comfortable going for a walk. We won't feel comfortable in school, so we won't be learning. So a lot of the issues that we see now could be magnified. But we're not going to get there because you do have a community that is working together. So we're not disjointed, we're working together to fix this problem. Also, we're attacking the problem from the root source and not just superficially. So while I appreciate the question, that's not something we're going to have to worry about.
You would have to be living under a rock, or you're not truthful with yourself if you say you're not concerned. And see, that's the thing that in order to fix a problem, you got to say there is a problem. When you don't realize there's a problem, you move as if it's not a problem. You have to address some problems, and you have to call it for what it is. Because when you call it for what it is, then you realize, hey, we know what it is. Let's put the resources around it. Let's get the treatment for it.
You know, I love walking to a school and not looking for the bad things, but looking for the good things, and greeting the student when they get off the school bus and having a conversation. You know, a lot of times students don't want to talk. I was a teenager. I didn't want to talk to my parents when I was, you know, a lot of times. But you know, that's what we're here for. You know, we're here as a community and as a family, and we need to work together and solve it. So
I think we're all working on it and have that one of our top priorities. It's a difficult issue because there's so many factors involved. As I said, you know, it's not only just police, but it's social programs and other programs like that. So we're committed to try to find solutions.
Not solving the issue of violence is really not up for discussion. It is a must that we solve the issues of violence, and I know for a fact that we can. We've got the resources, we've got the people, both the human resources, but also the supports and the financial resources. We have all of the resources that we need to solve this problem. And so to not solve it would be a failure on our part, and I'm not willing to accept failure. Failure is not an option.